Hey guys, welcome back. Matt here. Well, I wanted to make another follow-up video on this Stihl MSA 220C, I believe, on this saw here. So I think I've used it now for a good solid month. I mean, primarily I've used it just to cut up logs from the log trucks. I have brought it onto, some job sites and just limbing up some, the limbs that are on the ground before it goes in the chipper, or stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but I've used it a lot on the logs that I have from the log trucks, so I've used it quite a bit. So I kind of want to give another follow-up video. Not just a one-time use. I've used it for about a month now. So, and my opinion's kind of changed. So I know my first reaction was like, oh, it's underpowered, I mean, this is kind of where the technology's going. Obviously, everything's going battery eventually, and da-da-da-da. And I thought it was underpowered, the batteries didn't last that long, that kind of thing. So now that I've used it for a solid month, you do definitely need the best battery. At the moment, it's the AP 300S battery. That's it's three different, the 300, 200, 100, I believe. The 300 definitely has more power as far as how it runs. It lasts the longest. But besides all that, using this versus I normally use the 500i or the 461 that I have ported. And using this for, we'll just say, 3 hours straight, because usually when I'm cutting logs for a long time. Using this it's almost like using a toy. It's not very heavy. Anybody who knows, if you cut for a long time, I don't care what you're doing, your arms are going to get tired, your back's going to get tired. And using a gas-powered saw, it's loud, okay? For somebody like me and anybody who does trees and stuff, they know, using saws is loud. Yeah, it sounds good. We all love it. But it kind of gets old. If you do it all day, for every day, long time, years, it sounds good at first. And you're like, yeah, two-stroke, that's great. But it gets old. It's loud. So using this, I don't wear earmuffs with this. It's quiet. You can talk to somebody that you're working with without having to yell or use body language like all tree guys do. We use, hand gestures and nods and this and that and whatever. But besides how long the batteries last, using this, I mean, anybody can use this kind of saw. It's light, it's quiet. You ain't got to, obviously the battery motor could go bad eventually, but I would recommend having a bunch of batteries on hand, whether it's a 300. I do have a couple 200s that I throw in here from time to time when the other ones are charging. It's super light, easy to use. I think the risk of kickback is lower because it's not as powerful. But you still need to respect it as it's a normal saw. So I have come to actually like this saw, surprisingly. It'll never compare to a gas saw, not even... I think my 391 will blow the doors off of this, but that's not the point. The point is that I could use this way longer than I can use a gas saw. Yes, it takes a lot longer to cut a substantial size log, but I think for the most part, anything under this, so 10 inches, 12 inches and below, it does just fine. For the average homeowner that cuts a couple times a year, whether it's a tree that fell, this is really all you need. Yeah, the bigger base pieces, can this do it? Sure, it's just going to take a lot longer. You really can't put much force to it as you would on a normal gas saw. But it gets the job done, and I've cut probably 20 full cords of wood with this, cutting to 16 inches at least by now. So, and it's held up. I mean, besides it being dusty and dirty because I use it, it's like it's brand new. It still works. As long as the chain is sharp, like on any saw, this will cut just fine. So I kind of wanted to say that I'm actually kind of impressed. You know, yeah, a gas-powered saw is not very heavy when you're cutting a couple limbs, but when you use it for 2-3 hours straight, it gets heavy. You know, this is nothing. So that's kind of why I wanted to make another video to say that I'm actually kind of impressed with it. Do I wish the battery life lasted longer? Yeah, but that's with any batteries, right? Batteries for cars, batteries for whatever. You know, anything electric nowadays. So, and as the years go on, it'll probably get better, but we'll see. So I'm actually kind of impressed. Yeah, you still go through bar oil, but that's normal. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch base and say that my first review probably wasn't the best review, considering I only used it for one day, and it was cold out then, so it's still colder out now. So I'm curious. It'll probably get a little bit better, I would assume. You know, come summer, spring, when the weather is warmer. So would I recommend it? Yeah, 100%. I think for the average Joe, for the average homeowner, it's probably a good investment. You know, they're very easy to use. You know, you don't even need tools to adjust the tension of the chain. Like this guy could probably adjust here real quick. So all you really do is, hopefully you guys can see this, you loosen this up, spin this dial, it says plus. As long as the chain breaks off, there's no battery in it, so I'm not too concerned. As long as you got a little bit of, you know, it being loose, that's okay. Otherwise you're putting too much tension on the sprocket and on the chain, or on the bar there. And then you tighten it up, and there it is. So you don't need any spannel wrench here to loosen the bolts. You just do that. So it's pretty user friendly. So you know, your normal bar oil, open that up. So no, I like it. It's pretty easy to use. Anybody could use this. You don't really need a brain to use this. I mean, obviously you got to keep it sharp. I mean, I use the Stihl sharpeners for those. It does pretty good. It files on the rakes, and then it gets the teeth pretty good. So is it the same as doing it by hand? No, but it's okay. It's not bad. But yeah, you got to keep the batteries charged and whatnot versus just putting fuel in it and pulling it, and it's good to go. But for what these cost, they're still not cheap. You know, it's still better than a department store chainsaw, you know, some Craftsman or some garbage at Home Depot or whatever. But yeah, I think I paid $400 for this. Each battery's, the 300 is like $250, so you know, you're at $550, $600. But this should last you a long time. I like it. I think for the average homeowner, it's good. I use it for production firewood, so I don't care what anyone says. It does okay. I'm pretty impressed with it. Will I continue to use it? But hands down, yeah. Like I said, we have taken this on the job sites. It is nice because if we start really early, I could use this on limbing stuff when I'm up in the tree, and it's quiet. So in that aspect, it's actually kind of nice. They do make top-handled battery-powered saws, which eventually I may get into that. I don't know. I got a 201, I got a 192 from Stihl, so I'll continue to use those until they probably take a dump on me, and then I'll probably get a battery one, but we'll see. So all in all, I do want to give this a thumbs up. It is a nice saw. I don't really have any complaints about the batteries dying pretty quickly. You know, it's obviously not powered like a gas-powered saw, but it is nice. I do like it, so I kind of wanted to, like I said, make another, you know, review on it. So within the next couple videos, I'm not sure when, but I'm going to be cutting up probably 2 full cords of logs straight, as long as the batteries last, and just cut. So you'll see that it does its job. And most stuff hovers around a foot in diameter. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I just kind of wanted to go over this. I thought about it the other day. I'm like, I actually kind of like this saw. I never thought I would like something that looks like a toy, runs like a toy, but I do like it. Will I get more in the future? Probably. I think they make a 300C or 300 whatever now. Will I get one of those? Maybe. I'll probably wait till they make a bigger one. And hopefully they use the same batteries, because otherwise I'm going to have 10 different types of batteries, and that's, as we all know, that sucks. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, or if you want to see different videos on me cutting certain things with this, so you have an idea how it does, let me know. But like I said, I will be doing about 2.5 full cords of wood, you know, log wise, and cutting them the 16 coming up here. I got to get that done. And so you'll see it, and I'll just make a huge time lapse of me just cutting, so you can see that you can use this for 2-3 hours straight. no problem. Yeah, your back will eventually get tired, but nowhere near as fast as you would be using a gas-powered saw. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I figured, like I said, I wanted to give it a better review considering I do like the saw. So, but yeah, as always, keep burning.